Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money, here on another lovely Tuesday evening right here in the heart of Wailuku Town on the beautiful island of Maui in the great state of Hawaii. And if you are listening and I sound different, just know I'm using a professional headset mic, and I'm testing it out. So I'm going to listen to it after the show. Hopefully I sound fine. If there's any issues regarding that, please, by all means, let me know. I've already went over it with the boys. They say I sound okay, but of course, you guys matter as well. So let me know what you guys think of the audio, because I'm just trying a new headset mic. If it doesn't work, I can go back to the other mic, but I like wearing this. It makes it a lot easier. I don't have to worry about where the mic is and stuff like that. It's all up in my fizz ace. Anyway, before we get started, let me introduce the crew. First off, joining us this evening, he is our man in black. He's also the man who does magic tricks with his hands and bird tricks with his pants, and is deciding whether or not he should play WoW for now. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone say hello to Phormat.
What did you learn today?
Hey, everybody. No. I've decided on no. I'm not going to play WoW.
Really? You've decided against it? Unbelievable.
Is it really?
I mean, well, to be fair, I mean, you put in quite a lot of time. And to be honest, I think you're quitting not because of what's going on with Blizzard. I think you're quitting because what isn't going on in the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fair?
There's a definite lack of content right now that's definitely needs to be addressed before
everybody that
I return to the game.
Yeah, everybody that I keep talking to and watching videos about are saying that just because WoW Classic exists doesn't mean it's fixing anything. So I was like, interesting. Well, we shall see. Well, WoW, we'll see you for now. Anyway, also joining us this evening, I went to Phormat first, and that's okay, because this next guy, he is the seducer. He is the man who does a lot of producing and even a lot more seducing of ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Kai.
Woo!
You know what he'd like to seduce? That transformer that's on his picture on the live stream.
God,
that's what he'd like to seduce.
I would like to apologize to America for G's puns, jokes, and anything he says at innuendos.
First of all,
they're all horrible.
Innuendo.
Yeah, innuendos. Yeah.
I know where you live. Do not make me come down there with a slipper.
Mr. Skyrockets inside. Afternoon delight. I don't know. Anyway, Kai, so glad you can make it tonight. Anyway, guys, just want to let you know that we are live every single Tuesday evening, or try to be live every Tuesday evening.
That is true.
Of course, you guys can follow us on Facebook.com/NerdWatch, on YouTube at NerdWatch Nation, and on Twitch at NerdWatch808. That's NerdWatch808 on Twitch. Like us, follow us, smash that like button. Make sure that it turns a different color. Hit subscribe, whatever it is, just do it. Would you? Anyway, and please follow us and let your friends know. Let your grandmother know. Let your dad know. You know.
Let your grandmother know.
I don't know. Maybe she'll like it.
Maybe she'll like it. Who knows? I'm quite the charming fellow, as they say.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Who lied to you?
Oh, well. Hey, listen. Yeah,
you have
I'm
nothing.
listening.
Come on.
God brought it down. I signed for it. Nothing I can do about it. So
don't bring God into your mistakes.
Damn.
Whatever your excuse is, don't bring the Lord into this.
Yeah, he brought it.
To quote General Zod from Man of Steel, heresy.
Carl Amano wants to know where's the rest. You know what? Forget those guys. They suck.
Carl, they're still sleeping. They're still eating dinner.
I think that, to be honest, I think Todd Bernardi is he is working vigorously with one hand.
Vigorously?
With one hand on his issue, his comic book issue. So Yeah, so he's
Why do
working.
you say it like that?
Is
What?
this why? Is this why
Sounds
Todd
so
has a
bad.
studio?
Oh yeah, that's why. Joel is absolutely right. 3 out of 4 grandmas like G Money. That is 100% correct. So
I want to see the analytics of this.
it's like it's
3
like
out of
9
4 of them.
Hey, I'm like 9 out of 10 dentists agree that Crest is good for you. Big shout out to Alani who's in the chat. Alani. He's working on the issue with one hand. Hopefully he'll be done by
That's
next
how skilled the guy is.
He's very skilled.
Yeah.
I know
He's
that's why
very
he has
skilled.
to have his own studio.
That's correct. 100% correct. Well, listen, here's the thing. I do want to get started.
The thing? What's
Carl's
the thing?
like, we want Dr. Leakey. Well, tell him to plug his holes and get in here. And Ron,
I don't know where he is.
Ron said, and those 3 have passed away. That is correct.
Yep,
Alani,
that's canon. That's canon now.
Alani, I don't know who you're speaking of, but I hope you're speaking of me. Yes, I am quite talented.
Lies.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Anyway, Phormat and I believe Kai, you guys had the privilege of making it to Free Comic Book Day at Maui Comics and Collectibles up in Request Music in Wailuku Town. And because Alika isn't here, I didn't want to do him any favors, but I thought to myself, I'm not doing him the favor of talking about it. I would be doing a disservice to the crowd if I didn't talk about it.
That's true.
Showing up. So, Phormat and Kai, what did you guys
I'll
think?
defer to Kai because according to you, he was there. So I would.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So when I saw one after I fought work, it was quite a bit of a line. So there was quite a success on Free Comic Book Day.
Fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, I could have swore that I heard that Carl was there. I heard Alani had a chance to make it. I mean, listen, I don't know if that's facts, but those.
There were so many people.
Yeah,
that was the
many
social media
people.
rumors.
There were people that I saw that I didn't see, and then saw.
Nice.
So many.
Well, to be honest,
Is that
it's been a while. Well, it's been a while since we've actually had, a Free Comic Book Day. Alani said yes, she was there, and she grabbed all the free comics. I'm so glad you did. I hope they were good. And I tell you what, what's funny is that, I was thinking to myself, man, I don't know how well Free Comic Book Day is going to work out considering the pandemic and all this other crap and the restrictions. It looks like a lot of people came out, and I think a lot more people are enjoying other things to do. So that's good. I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for the shop. Carl says that he had a great time at Free Comic Book Day, and he got other free goodies, he said. So fantastic. I heard that there was because of our good friend Ron Cataguy, the bookmarks that were sent for Comic Jam Hawaii were impressively popular. They were off the hook, as they say. And I'm so glad most of you that are in the chat had a chance to go and support some local comic book business. Joel said that he went and he got his comics. Fantastic. Now, I don't know. Did you guys get comics or no? Or did you save it for the people? Okay.
I saved it for the people. Even though as a volunteer, I was promised things. I decided to let the people get first crack at everything.
Right.
Because, it's more for them than for me. I don't.
You're a giving man. I get it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're a very giving man. I have to say that for the success, I hope people are paying attention to comics. I hope people are reading comics and enjoying them, and I hope those free comics kind of hit the spot for you guys. And I hope it gets people back into having fun. Carl said he saw Ryan and Marcy too. Bookmarks were awesome. Ron, thanks. Ron Cataguy, very talented animator and artist, did a great job. Carl said thanks, Phormat, for that as well. Mm-hmm. It's nice to get together with like-minded people and enjoy things, we like together, which is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's always enjoyable to get together with people that are like-minded and enjoy the things that you enjoy for sure. So, so happy to hear that Free Comic Book Day went off without a hitch. And matter of fact, Gannon, who is not here tonight, was very impressed by his version by Ron Cataguy's version of Batman that looked quite like him. for that bookmark. I hope I didn't get a chance to get any of the bookmarks, but what I'm hoping is, Ron, is that there's a bookmark that looks a lot like this face right here.
Oh yeah,
So-
there was one. There was one. Like if you really squint hard, and then it's at the back of the room.
All right.
Yeah, you were there.
All right, was I there? All right, great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for Karen. Thanks for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. Anyway, that was the most fun news of the week. Anything else to report from there, guys, before we move on this evening?
Not really. I mean, it was probably one of the bigger turnouts that we've ever had for Free Comic Book Day. There was so many people. The line went from the request door all the way down to like past the Wailuku Coffee Company. So if you're familiar with the area, that's a pretty long line, and and it was like that for a while.
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. So cool, man. I'm so stoked to hear about that. That is fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that sounds really, really cool. So if there is any of the free comic books, please let me know. I would love to get my hands on a couple of them if there is any.
I'm sure Alika has them.
And whatever I can get when it comes to those bookmarks, I will take for sure, which would be a lot of fun too. Anyway, let's move on to some more interesting and fun news. There isn't too much this week, but there are a couple of things. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this first because it looks like last Friday, we got a couple of new movies in the form of Don't Breathe 2 and Free Guy. And it looks like, by all intents and purposes, that Free Guy, the movie starring Ryan Reynolds, was quite the success at the box office. It did very well. It's actually getting some pretty decent reviews, and from my understanding, it's actually a lot of fun to watch. So I didn't get to see it this weekend, but I heard it was very, very good. So that's very good. Ron in the chat says, glad y'all liked it. Those who got their free bookmarks. I should have done a NERDWatch set of bookmarks since there's just a few of you now. Yeah, it would have been better. Listen, do us a favor. Do me and Phormat, because technically those are the only two faces that are on this show consistently. So yeah.
Wait, what about me?
You're an avatar, dude. You're not. Your face is not on here. That doesn't count. You know
Wow,
what I'm saying?
you're such a dick.
What? You're an avatar. How is he supposed to draw an avatar? What the hell? You can't draw your. He needs to draw your face. You know what I'm saying?
I'll draw your face.
Hey, listen. If you showed your face, maybe Ron can draw you like one of his French girls. So
Wait, Ron's French?
Well,
he's got French girls.
He's got French girls that he draws. So maybe he can draw you like one of his French girls. Yeah.
Like in a basement.
Yeah.
Why in a basement? I'm curious. Ron, why are they in a basement, Ron?
Listen, that's something you should ask him off the show so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Let's save that for later. Anyway, like I was saying, Free Guy hit the movie theater.
Did it?
Joel said, "No face, no bookmark." That's fair.
Well, Joe, I like being naked in my own house.
Carl says, "How about French fry?" Ooh, you know what? It has been almost 9 months since I've had potatoes. No potatoes.
No, it hasn't.
For me. Yeah, no, it hasn't. It has.
No, it hasn't.
Has. Yes, it has. It has. Because
what
we had at Miko's,
a month ago.
what we had at Miko's was not a potato. Okay,
potato.
I know what you're going to talk about, but no, when we went out together, that was not a potato at Miko's.
I asked him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a potato.
Yeah, there. I'm going to tell you something. And don't tell him I said this, but whoever told you that is dumb. Okay.
No, it's just the way they prepare it.
Whoa.
You just don't want to accept it that it was a potato.
No, it was not a potato. There's
They
no
were
way
dumb.
that as consistent as that, the consistency on that piece of vegetable was not a potato. There's no way in hell you could cook a potato like that. But anyway, I digress because I don't want to get angry. All right? I don't want to get angry.
Maybe they cooked it with an air fryer. You don't know that.
Hey, then it should have been a lot crispier. It should have tasted like a
But
potato.
it was swimming in sauce.
It was swimming in so much sauce.
Yeah, no.
Right next to the fish.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you
Anyway,
don't know what this is G can't accept the fact that what he ate was a potato.
It was not a potato. If you've ever been to Miko's on Maui and you order the whatever that stupid dish was, that red Korean
It was
fish
the
dish.
Korean butterfish.
Yeah, Korean butterfish dish.
It was like the most expensive
and
dish
it's
on
a
the
yellow,
menu.
and
And
it's
G
a
was
yellow
like,
disc.
I gotta have it.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a potato.
It was
It's
potato.
baloney.
See,
You guys
even Kaleo agrees with me.
yeah, you guys are idiots. Anyway, moving on. Free Guy, of course, as we said, I wanted to make sure that Ryan Reynolds and those guys, Sean Levy, get their due, because Free Guy, of course, is kind of based on video games and a video game open world, and it seemed to do rather successfully this weekend. So I am very excited to watch it, and I sure hope
I thought it
is
was
good.
interesting that it's not actually free.
It's
I
not
showed
free.
up at the theater and was like, "Hi, I'm here to see the Free Guy," and they were like,
Yep.
X amount of dollars, please. And I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was free. And they were like,
Yeah.
no, that's just the title.
This
And I
is
was
the
like,
title.
well, screw this.
Yeah, and you're out of there. I get it. I mean, I completely understand what you're talking about too. I will say
False
that
advertisement, man. I'm gonna sue Ryan Reynolds.
what was interesting is that to compare Free Guy, what happened with the success of Free Guy, did you see what happened yesterday because of its weak box office over the last month? 3 weeks.
No. But what happened?
As of yesterday,
What?
G.I. Joe Origins, Snake Eyes is out digitally. Paramount decided to forego the 45-day window and put it out digitally already. You can own it digitally now. It comes out in hard media in October, but if you want to watch it and rent it, you can do it immediately, because I guess it wasn't as successful as they thought it would be. Very interesting. So if you are, what's funny is that if you look at it on Rotten Tomatoes, the review score was good. The review score for the critics was terrible, but the review score for the audience was off the charts. It's like at 74%. The critics is like at 22%. So Snake Eyes is actually surprisingly for as well received as the audience did take it. It's funny that it got pushed to video so quickly. So so I'm gonna watch it now that it's at home. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Carl wants to know, was G.I. Joe that bad? Next week I will let you know, Carl, because I just got it and I will watch it and I'll let you know next week for sure. A good buddy Doc is in the chat. He said you guys rocked Free Comic Book Day. I missed out caring for Lori's recent foot surgery, but this time I'm giving some goodies. He says, have our sample book. You can go to www.limemediahawaii.com/sample1. And then,
neat.
so he said that Lori worked off her Akole on this one and so did all the creators. So he said, enjoy with thanks for all your aloha and caring for the Hawaiian nerd community for sure. Well, thanks, Doc. And once again, that's limemediahawaii.com/sample1. So make sure you guys check that out. Free comic for you guys right there. Again, right on the show. Sweet. So that's very cool. Anyway, so to know that G.I. Joe is already out and they've decided to forego the 45-day window, because apparently, just like myself and Phormat were saying for the last 3 weeks, movie theaters aren't cutting it anymore.
No,
they're not cutting it anymore because people don't want to sit in the theater anymore. They want to do stuff outside. So this is why. So their whole marketing plan and the way they put these movies out are going to change in the near future. I don't think it's going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be. So, yeah, we shall see. Speaking of that, some fun news for you guys to talk about. It looks like getting into since we're talking about Free Guy and that's Disney and Disney and Fox, and it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys hear that Disney Star Wars officially have renamed Boba Fett's Slave One?
Oh yeah, this is old news.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure we covered it at one point.
Well, according to this, it came. Well, this is interesting because it actually came. This article came out today, courtesy of Bounding into Comics, following the reveal that the House of Mouse had simply dropped the moniker of Boba Fett Slave One, likely in order to preemptively appease the offended masses. Disney has finally and officially unveiled a new name of the Star Wars fan favorite's infamous starship. Slave One's new name was officially unveiled in a Marvel preview for the currently in progress Marvel comic crossover series Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, a canon story which details Boba Fett's arduous and treacherous journey in between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi to deliver a carbonite frozen Han Solo to Jabba's palace. In the preview, Disney showcased 6 different variant covers for the crossover series, each of which depicts one of the series' title bounty hunters next to their respective vehicle of war, quote unquote. Though the ship's new designation is found nowhere on Boba Fett's variant cover, even in the translated Arabesh text, Disney's preview announced the fans can see the following characters and vehicles on variant covers throughout September, and Boba Fett's in particular is Boba Fett and Fire Spray.
What?
That's right. His ship will now be called Fire Spray.
Lame.
Yeah.
Sucks.
As emphasized, it appears that Slave One has officially been renamed Fire Spray, a reference to the ship's official model classification as a Fire Spray 31 class patrol and attack craft.
Boo.
So, yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
Coolest company.
Yeah. So just know that Fire Spray is definitely not as cool as Slave One, no matter how hard you try. Well, according to they said, though Disney has not publicly specified why they renamed Slave One, with Lego Star Wars design director having merely announced the change by stating it is just something that Disney doesn't want to use anymore. Quote, it's likely that it was done in order to avoid any bad faith and victimization, seeking reactions to the use of the term one.
Boo.
No, slave, obviously. I'm just kidding. So yeah, and just to let you know, let me give you the other ones. Get this. Boba Fett has Fire Spray. Bosk, for all you Star Wars fans, has the Houndstooth, which is a great name for a ship. Mm-hmm. IG-88 has IG-2000. It's not a bad name. Look at this. Another bounty hunter, Zuckuss, has the Mist Hunter.
It's a Prius.
Cool... Yes. Yeah, it's a Prius.
Mm-hmm. Valence Bylert has the Broken Wing. And look at this. I would totally take this as Boba Fett's name for his ship instead of what he got. The Dengar bounty hunter has one called the Punishing One. So, yeah, I would have taken that for Boba Fett's other than Fire Spray. Come on, guy. Goodness. So anyway, you can check out the new comics, War of the Bounty Hunters. They'll be hitting shelves in September of 2021, so next month. Hey guys, Boba Fett and Fire Spray, so cool.
Boo!
What is with his weak names?
Yeah.
Boo!
I feel this.
Well, there's another rumor flying around Hollywood. It looks like Thor Ragnarok director and featured player in the Suicide Squad and Free Guy Taika Waititi may join James Gunn in jumping ship from Marvel to DC films for a new project that would put the Ratcatcher 1 performer in the chair yelling action. According to one of their alleged sources, Giant Freaking Robot reports that while filming his handful of scenes for the Suicide Squad, Waititi had a conversation with Gunn and a few Warner Brothers executives about the possibility of him helming a DC film. No further details were put forth, but that hasn't stopped the speculation, as based on his appearance as a bit player in the failed 2011 Green Lantern movie, his resume of cosmic action movies, and his continued working relationship with Ryan Reynolds, the notorious Hal Jordan of a decade ago, it's believed Waititi will get a crack at a reboot of The Emerald Knight. Wow.
Taika
What do you think?
Waititi as
Taika
a Green
Waititi.
Lantern?
Yeah.
I thought
Or is he directing a Green Lantern?
Directing it. He's just
Oh,
directing
okay.
it. Yeah, he's just directing. Don't get too excited.
I mean that I guess that's cool. I mean, like he hasn't really missed a beat yet, so I don't
Hey.
see why it wouldn't be.
Who doesn't love a
Wouldn't be
good?
good.
Who doesn't love a good Taika Waititi?
And
Of
the
course, Joe bringing all kinds of class to the show. They should have called Boba Fett's ship Skeet One. No, all kinds of class for that. Nobu in the chat says, "Can we appreciate that if we're complaining about the name of a fictional spaceship from a show about space wizards, our lives are pretty easygoing?" I agree.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, we already understood that.
But that doesn't make us any less wrong
Yeah, that's true. I
or
agree.
any
That's
less
true.
right. Like
Hey,
we're making a point.
It'll
think,
always
maybe.
it'll always be Slave One to me. All right, whatever. Hey, Carl says he wants to see a Polka Dot Man Watiti movie. I could see
That'd be
that.
kind of cool. Yeah,
I'll be
I
down
don't
for
see
that.
why not.
He survived.
I do think it's interesting that because it came out today in a report that I guess when James Gunn was first approached by Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
that when he was asking them, well, what do you want me to work on, and they kept throwing the idea of Superman like in his face. And he was like, I don't know about that. But I think James Gunn Superman might be pretty dope.
It might be. Bronzebeard 808 is in the chat. He says Waikiki. No, Waititi. Bronzebeard also in the chat said, got you guys streaming on theta.tv via my channel. Hey, Bronzebeard 808, appreciate the love, man. Thank you very much. Love it, brother. Alani in the chat says, well, they messed up when they casted Ryan as Green Lantern. They turned him into Deadpool because the movie sucks so bad. You know what's funny is that I think that everything on Oa in Green Lantern was pretty cool. I do say that the movie wasn't great, but I do think that it is a little over criticized a little bit.
I think so too, because he's not like Hal Jordan is, snarky and he's kind of a prick. Yeah. So it's not like he wasn't playing the role. You know what I mean?
100%, and that's why I think if you were to look back at that movie and you understand who Hal Jordan is, and though I will say that Ryan Reynolds was miscast because I think that Hal was a little more he wasn't as funny, he was more snarky, and he was kind of a prick, a little bit, so maybe Ryan Reynolds wasn't the best casting, but I will say that quite honestly, if you look back at Green Lantern, especially the extended cut, it's actually a lot of fun. And if you give it a little bit of a break, I think you might enjoy it a little more for sure. So take a look at it again and give yourself a break and watch a little bit of Green Lantern.
Just be stoked that Taika Waititi's character is happy for CGI green suits.
Yep.
It's the only thing that sticks out to me for that.
Absolutely. Let's get into some more nerd news. For those of you that like anime. Oh, man. Hot off the heels of the Western release of the final entry in the Neon Genesis Evangelion franchise, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time. According to this report from Bounding Into Comics, Comic Book Resources has bizarrely attempted to claim that the film's explanation of Rei Ayanami's existence as a manufactured clone is proof positive that the character is a member of the LGBTQ plus community.
Oh, what? Oh, man.
Get off of it. Dear
People are too woke.
Yeah. In an article headlined Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.01, casually confirms a major character as LGBTQIA+, published on August 16th. CBR Comic Book Resources. Yep. CBR Comic Book Resources.
When are they going to stop with the letters? They keep adding more letters.
Let me finish this. Ruben Barron attempts to argue that, quote, one smaller revelation seen in the film that has gone mostly unremarked upon on the English language internet is the casual confirmation that Rei Ayanami is somewhere on the LGBTQIA plus spectrum. according to this quote, the reveal occurs a little over an hour and 2 minutes into the 2.5-hour film when Fuyutsuki is preparing for the fourth impact, explains Baron. In these preparations, he remarks upon the resurrection of the advanced Ayanami series, untainted life forms made with pure souls free of sexual distinction. The Japanese phrase translated as free of sexual distinction, which is shiyu mo naku, can also be translated more directly as without sex. Thus, he concludes what this specifically means for Rei Ayanami is up for some interpretation, but all interpretations would place her as one letter or another in that spectrum. So,
Jesus.
apparently, now this is where it gets interesting. You thought it was interesting. Now this is where it gets interesting. However,
I didn't think that was interesting at all. I don't know why you thought.
Well, this is what's interesting.
I thought it was interesting.
However, anyone familiar with the story and characters of Neon Genesis Evangelion are sure to quick to recognize that not only is Baron's argument based on a severe misreading of the franchise's plot, but also on his own obsession with that representation. While the film script does in fact describe the advanced Ayanami series of clones as pure souls free of sexual distinction or without sex, this phrase does not indicate that Rei is either asexual or non-binary. And what I find, and this is what I find so fascinating. I mean, this franchise has been around for how long now?
Forever, dude. And this. And this movie is like what, the 6th one or something?
I don't know. I lost count at this point.
There's so many.
I'm gonna watch it this week.
Well, according to this, the advanced Ayanami series are not asexual or non-binary, but rather physically, mentally, and spiritually incapable of engaging with the entire concept of sex, as it has literally been written out of their DNA. So that's according to the lore, I guess. So that's interesting.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Man.
I
feel enlightened.
Have I rightly ruined Neon Genesis Evangelion for you?
No, you have done none. It's
Okay,
just people who wants to search for these scenes and then try to grasp what straws.
That's how it is, man. Like you search hard enough in anything, and you're gonna find what you want to see. So it's, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's weird.
No. It is. These people keep searching these stuff. This is why the rumors has been getting a lot more closer to the truth. Where this week, actually not this week. This past week's Kaligawa Productions just said they're gonna basically do all the translation themselves and not have a third party anymore. They're not gonna let anyone in the U.S. do it.
Wow, that's interesting.
So
Carl,
good for them.
Carl brings up, what about Robin being bisexual? We talked about that last week, and how we thought that the fact that he broke up with his girlfriend at the time off panel was a little bit, Steph off panel was a little bit like showed her no respect, which was weird. But anyway, and they've been together.
Like, are you surprised though? I'm pretty sure Robin's a power bottom.
Yeah, no, listen. I understand. I definitely understand what you're saying. Also, in some more interesting nerd news, it looks like Kevin Feige, that guy, he's responsible for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, earlier this week, it looks like Simu Liu had a couple of choice words for Disney CEO Bob Chapek about how Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was an interesting experiment going forward for the Disney franchise, because they're doing a 45-day window thing with them as well. Kevin Feige and apparently Simu didn't seem very happy about them considering this movie an experiment, and he took it kind of like, because it was based in Asian lore, that he felt like he was being targeted, which was weird.